Hi, I'm Hannah Wallace and welcome to FinextraTV. Today, calling into our virtual studio to talk to us about embedded finance and contextual banking is Dr. Roland Folz, CEO of Solaris Bank. So welcome, Roland. Thank you very much for calling in.
Not at all. Very welcome. I'm delighted to be here.
It's good to have you on. So yes, this is a really interesting topic because one of the most transformative trends in fintech taking shape today is indeed embedded finance. So it'd be great if you could kick things off for us by highlighting some of the top trends you're seeing in this space today. So let's start there.
Sure. I think in general, the concept of embedded finance is a very old one. I mean, you can go back more than 100 years when loans were offered by Ford to purchase the cars. Obviously, today, digitalization has accelerated that trend and the use cases due to the seamless integration via API tremendously. Now, big techs are driving this trend because they want to enrich their ecosystems. And then if you look one level down, if you look at the 3N, the non, the near, and the neobanks, they are also raising and growing, evolving very quickly. And new and established brands, they are all looking for a deep integration of financial solutions to increase their customer loyalty. And that's what embedded finance is, contextual finance is all about.
Brilliant. Well, you've certainly set the scene for us there. So what are the benefits then, particularly for the startups, SMEs and large corporates? Could you tell us a bit more about that and maybe share some examples of where and how embedded finance works best? What about that?
Sure. I think overall, banking as a service, embedded finance is still a very young market across the world, but it's gaining traction tremendously fast. The short-term benefits for the customers are obviously an extended product offering and many more data points for their customers. In the long term, if they grow that business, obviously it's new revenue streams and increased customer loyalty. I think company size and maturity are not the key drivers for success. I think with the right value proposition, any new business can grow and develop quickly. And that's why embedded finance works best for those companies with a digitalized business model, customer centricity, and very strong ecosystems. And that's why I would say big tech companies definitely have an advantage here. You know, the Ubers, the Googles, the Apples, and so on. But also e-commerce industry, they are well positioned. They have seamlessly integrated digital customer experience solutions, checkout solutions. But Solaris examples is of one of a big brand with a very strong ecosystem that has integrated financial solutions is Samsung. They have integrated Samsung Pay and Samsung Split Pay, a buy now, pay later type solution. Other examples of younger companies are with a very specific attractive value proposition are, for example, Tomorrow. They have a green environmental edge. Vivid, looking at a lifestyle edge. Trade Republic, smart trading, investing. Bitwala, Bison, they access digital assets. And then Penta, of course, with a value-added SME services value proposition.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that leads me quite nicely into my next question. And I've got to ask, what's next for embedded banking and contextual banking then? What do you see further down the line?
I think the next phase, is we're entering a phase of tech-enabled mass adoption of banking as a service. That means more and more big brands will enter the market, taking market share from the traditional banks and the neobanks. And I think then if you look at combining data and artificial intelligence, that will allow those platform participants to extend the product offering and go much deeper into highly customized advisory propositions. And taking more and more from the revenues that are traditionally with branch-focused banks or old tech operating banks and financial service providers.
So I think it's safe to say watch this space. Some really exciting developments further down the line then. So I want to end on talking a little bit more about Solaris Bank in particular. So you're a tech company with a full German banking license. So could you talk us through some of the benefits that come from combining tech and license to empower those non-banks, giving them the ability to offer financial services and the market involvement in general? So let's end on that.
Sure. I think, that is hitting exactly on the sweet spot of Solaris. So Hannah, this is the problem. I think on the one hand, you have the traditional banks. They have outsourced their tech department, and thus tech for them is sort of a captive service provider. They have limited capability and very often no mandate to serve third parties. On the other hand, you have very innovative, customer-centric, tech-driven ecosystems that would love to integrate financial solutions, but they have no experience in regulation, compliance, banking processes. So Solaris is hitting exactly that sweet spot with a platform that solves this problem, tech-driven, no regulation, we are process experts, and that fits very well into that gap on a European basis. And that, I think, basically brings the benefits of a partnership with a banking as a service provider like Solaris Bank to fruit. We can help any ecosystem to integrate compliant financial services that are very easy to integrate via the APIs. And I think what distinguishes us from our competitors is the straight B2B2X model. So we don't have a conflict of interest. We're a blue platform. We enable. We're neutral towards our customers. We give them a full ownership to those products and help their customers. I think, and let me close with that. In general, I think we see a huge transformation in the financial services industry. I think the customer behavior is changing. COVID accelerated this process. So if I look at Europe, there's probably roughly about 1 billion checking accounts. Today, the vast majority of those accounts is with traditional players. I expect in the next 5 to 10 years that half of those are at risk to move to a more client-centric, neobank provider. I think a tremendous opportunity for Solaris and its partners.
Well, it was brilliant to have you on because I haven't spoken to Solaris Bank before, and I hope we get to catch up further down the line to sort of reflect on those predictions. Some really interesting things ahead, I think it's safe to say. But Roland, we'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much for calling in. It's been really insightful. Thank you.
Not at all. Thank you, Hannah. Have a nice day.